you look around the league, there's a lot of teams, in the hunt. We're in the hunt. You sit here and you say, hey, Thanksgiving, and close to the end of November, and we're in the hunt. When you sit around that table tomorrow, you're saying we're in the hunt. And there's a lot of teams that wish they were in the hunt. But we're in the hunt.
It took a full hour for them to walk Meg down the hallway of the SPCA when we first got her, because she had been so abused and mistreated in the puppy mill she was in. But when she finally did get to know us and trust us, I mean, the love, she just loved to be loved. And it was, you could not stop petting her. You stopped petting her, the paw went up. She loved so much, which made it super tough, because at the end, and it really happened suddenly. One day she was fine. One day her back legs were just paralyzed. She just could not use her back end. Mm-hmm. And so we obviously had to bring her in, and we're in the SPCA, and they're about to inject her with the things that kill her. And she's looking at us with these eyes. She has these big, big, beautiful eyes. And she doesn't know what's going on. She's just looking at us because she loves us, and she just wanted to be pet. And as they're killing her, we're petting her, and we have to stop. We have to back up, and her paw goes up, and she just wants to be pet. She doesn't know she's being, put to sleep forever. She just wanted to be pet. And I mean, God, nothing will break your heart like that. Like, this dog just trusts you in every single way, shape, and form. Mm-hmm. And you're killing it because it can no longer use its back legs, and it's suffering.
Are we the dog in this, or the doctor, or you?
No, I figured you guys would want to hear more about that than talk about the Bills.
Oh, I thought this was like an analogy or something.
No, it's just the story of how I had to kill my dog a couple weeks ago. So I'd rather talk about that than the Bills game.
Save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, the Patreon people know us by now. So this might be someone's first thing, and they're going to look down and be like, did I download the right podcast?
I promise you that person... I promise you that person just made the sign of the cross and said, thank God they're not talking about that game, because it was just, it was bad. No, honestly, it's in the hunt. I'm Greg Bauk. He's Sean Murphy. Kyle Turner just talked. Sean Murphy talked before him. And I'm Greg. In case this is your first time listening to us, the Bills lost to Miami, but come on, like, whatever, right?
Yes, I think this is this season's tornado New England game, where it was just dumb. It was a dumb game of football.
It was a dumb game. It was a dumb game.
It was a dumb game. Players were hurt every play. I mean, we went into Miami on a short week with a practice squad worth of players and lost by 2 points. Yeah. The only thing that's going to really annoy me this week, and it's a thing I think I predicted, maybe I didn't. I definitely told it to other people. I think I said it on the pod, is this feels like an angry being a Bills fan week where the Dolphins win in a dumb game, and we got to listen to people be like, Miami's like legit, man. And yeah, Miami is maybe a wild card team. They're fine, but like, this was a dumb game of football that did not correctly show us who was the better team.
Look, again, I'm not taking anything away from Miami.
Same.
They won. They beat the Bills. They're 3-0. They earned it. But this is one of those, like, sure. But if you're going to sit there and tell me Tua is the next elite quarterback to come out after going 13 of 18 for 186 yards, please think he's elite. I want you to.
Against Damar Hamlin. Do you know what I'm saying? No offense to Damar, but like, that secondary was, I mean, Benford left the game in like the first or second quarter. Yeah. And he was our sixth round rookie who was playing.
The Bills by the end legitimately were missing 8 starters. Not even the backups that got hurt. Like that Van Ruten got hurt. I'm not even counting him as a starter. They were missing over a third of their starting players in the NFL. And like we said, 6 of them are like top 10 at their position.
Yeah.
And so I'm not like, this is where you go, that hurts, but I'm like, this isn't a fair, if the Bills legitimately even had Ed Oliver, I think the Bills win that game.
Yeah.
212 yards of offense Miami had against DeMar Hamlin in the Bills defense. No offense, DeMar, you did a great job.
Yeah.
You had like one iffy play, but whatever. Chalk it up. Like they did good. I just think like Ed Elver probably would have made a difference in the game. I'm not doing a boner because there's no boners. I guess the closest I came, like the semi I had in this game, was the punt. Like the punt for a safety was just like I didn't have a lot of fun watching this game. It was really kind of tense, and it was just because I didn't want to hear that shit. Like I don't want to read about. I've been reading everything because it's been so much fun, and now I might have to put my phone away for an entire week because I don't want to hear anything about Tua Tagovailoa or whatever the hell his name is. To like he's elite, or the Dolphins were creeping up on the like the rankings because they fucking did terrible. It came down to our field goal kicker, who never misses a field goal kick, missing a stupid field goal kick, can't even blame the snap. Josh Allen on that fourth down throw that just went into the dirt for absolutely no reason. And, 75,000 other things, but like those two things.
It kind of shocked me how little Miami was throwing it. Like, I mean, our secondary was, the most banged up secondary maybe since I've been watching Bills football, and you have a supposedly elite quarterback, and they weren't really testing them that much. And that really kind of shocked me.
I'm looking to see how many times they ran the ball. They ran it for 41 yards, which is like nothing, but I'll get it right here.
It's the offense.
24 times.
I love what Ken Dorsey, I feel like the offensive is the same as last year, if not a little better. The only thing, and I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this a lot, especially going forward, is the real lack of quarterback sneaks in design runs. There doesn't seem to be a lot of that this season. And I don't know if that's, again, if Josh Allen's like, hey, you can't run me 10 times a game like Daboll did. Okay. But the last four plays down at the 2 when not one quarterback sneak again, not one.
I thought they did one. I thought Allen got hit.
They did it. They did an RPO. I'm talking like straight up under center quarterback sneak. Like it just seems like those would have been perfect plays to do that.
It's also, and we've talked about at the end of the day, I'd rather the team be good at passing than good at running. But other than that long Moss run, man, this team cannot run the ball even a little bit. Like even to the fact of getting like, 1 or 2 yards here and there. And it seems like every run play they have is like I talked about this last week, and I could be on my own ass about this, but it seems like every run play is like a delay or in shotgun. It's like a little too cutesy. I haven't seen them just like get in the I form and run the football with a fullback or do even like pitches that often. It just seems like they're all like these kind of cutesy delayed handoffs that go nowhere.
Was this the first time they've done the toss sweep? I know it was to McKenzie. I don't think that had to be the first time I saw the toss sweep this year.
That might have been.
Yeah, and it went for like 8 yards or something like that. So
today too, like out of nowhere, like I know Morris was out, but like Allen was under pressure from the first play of the game to the end of the game. Like he was getting hit. And I know they were blitzing, but like all the time he was under pressure every single time he dropped back. That
man was exhausted and hot. You can just see it in his face. And I'm not like making, it's an excuse. That's the whole fucking football field of people were affected by that game.
Dude, when the game ended, everyone just fell on the ground.
It was pretty funny. Like a lot of like there's so many stupid little things, and I don't like doing this. I fucking hate this about football, which is why I don't want to do this podcast. But when you think back on all the little things that shifted things, the pass interference or the unnecessary roughness on who was it? Waddle.
Milano?
Not Milano. I mean, that play on the sack. Yeah, you hit the quarterback lady, kind of hit him, and Tua obviously like it hurt Tua way worse than I think that hit was.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like a push, but whatever. I don't mind that penalty. The one on the goal line, one was that Hamlin that had that hit?
I think it was Johnson.
It might have been Johnson. Yeah, that was like that's one little thing that happened. Allen getting the 15-yard penalty when he got punched in the nuts. Like that's right there.
He seemed to be just pit because there was a lot of like not even necessarily things that should have been penalties, but it felt like he was getting the job a little bit after the whistle, like people laying on him, people kind of, and I think he was almost in his mind, he's probably like, hey, I'm kind of Tom Brady now. Where the fuck is this? Like, why are people not? And like, it happened. I mean, I at least saw it at least a couple times. And then I think at the end, he was just like, this is fucking bullshit, and just kind of lost his mind.
Yeah, he was playing. This is going to sound so dumb, but he was playing like full football guy in that game. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't playing quarterback. He was not playing quarterback. He was playing football guy. And you know, that's the best thing about Josh Allen when he just goes, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna do what I want. And just like, but I don't know. It just sucks because now it seems like Miami fans have become almost insufferable. And maybe it's just because they talk about the Bills a lot, but regardless, no one except for us and our dumb fan base is going to go, we were down 10 guys. Everyone's just going to go, Tua beat Josh Allen.
Yeah. This is the Fitz game against New England when they went to 3-0. That's exactly what this is. We beat New England, but no, we didn't. Yeah. We temporarily inconvenienced the New England Patriots. That's what this game is.
My two kind of big coordinator faux pas in this game that I think really led to the loss is you had, we're at our like 10-yard line and just out of nowhere, we do 2 runs with Moss for like 0 yards. And then we're in our like first 3rd and 10 of the season, obvious passing situation. And then that leads to the fumble and the kind of easy touchdown for the Miami offense. And then there's that defensive play where it's like 3rd and 20. And for some reason, Frazier only rushes like 3 people. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, your secondaries, like your defensive line's your only healthy unit on the entire football field. At least rush 4. I mean, maybe even bring someone in because your defensive backs aren't going to hold up. And then that led to that long catch that put them down in the red zone there.
The Waddle catch, yeah.
Yeah. And those 2 kind of situations were, I mean, really the big turning points of the game. Other than the, stuff, Greg, you mentioned with the Allen missed pass on 4th and 1 and Milano dropped a pick 6. There's a lot of like chances there.
Oh, that friggin' Milano pick 6. Are you kidding me? That was after that happened. I was pretty sure they were going to win. Like, it's like up in the air. You're not sure what's going to happen. After that happened, we were getting the ball back. And I was just like, okay, so we pulled this one out. That was a little tough. I can't believe we won this game, having lost all those players. That's really nice. And they didn't. So I guess I can't really be too upset. It would have been incredibly convenient to have won this football game. We lose our bet. We put in money on the Bills going undefeated this season. Now you see why you don't do that. Because they can't. It's very, very hard to go undefeated an entire season.
I have a tweet of the game.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this. I didn't know you were still reading.
Yeah, well, the way this game was going, I usually try to get them in before halftime. That's when I feel like most people are crazy. Mm-hmm. And they very much like overanalyze everything. There's like a 4th down call or something, and people are like, "This is the worst team in the world," and then the Bills win by 100 or whatever. But so I had to keep going back to the well on this one, and it was tough. But this one I thought was pretty good. Someone else may have tweeted this again, but this I'm going to say this lady was the first to make the joke. Her name is Eli. It's at The Grim. She tweeted out, "Global warming is the 12th man."
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah. That's a good tweet.
That's
I
a
like
good
that.
Tweet.
I want to say something really quick about Twitter, and it's more Facebook than Twitter. My wife is not on Twitter. My algorithm for like Twitter, Facebook, all that shit is a bunch of nasty people say nasty things all the time. That's all they do is complain. So if I log on to a social media app, it's not surprising to see hell. My wife is all like dogs, puppies, cute craft ideas and shit like that. She went on her phone after the game and brought up Facebook and saw like Josh Allen choke artist post on Facebook, which is just like, what? Like, it's just like that level of Bills fans that have just come on that like are in my wife's Facebook universe. Consider this a choke game for Josh Allen, which I think is just hilarious.
Well, that's funny. My Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook are nasty people saying nasty things, but they're also wearing nasty clothes. So maybe
I like how it's not even like scandalous clothes. They're just nasty clothes.
Nasty clothes. It's dirty laundry day on my Instagram. That's true.
It's Louis G in a Who Farted t-shirt.
That's nasty. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Here's a picture of my dog if you're watching.
Wow.
That's not the dead one.
Yeah, she died. See those eyes? Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
Just to remind you all that I lost something very dear to me.
The football game.
I'm just going to hold this up the rest of the podcast. The Bills, they got a tough challenge going into Baltimore next week. I'm holding my dog up. And
what if the dog just starts saying racist things? So we're like, Greg, that's you.
Oh, it's my dead dog. I did not use that word. Bad dog. Bad dog.
So that they did say though, if you want to talk about the weather real quick, 110 on the field. That is, Florida, hot states suck. The South sucks. Yeah. Florida sucks. Texas sucks. Utah's pretty hot too. California stinks. The Northeast is the best.
Well, it's also like, hey, maybe there shouldn't be 1 o'clock Miami games in September. Like it almost seems obvious to me. Like if you're in September and you have a home game, why you make it a prime time or 4? Or so? It's
we're
too
not
hot.
Doing this with this 50 years of Miami games at 1 p.m.
But climate change, Greg.
I hate
climate change.
Yeah. I hate this. This is like the stupid dome thing after the New England game.
And there should be a dome too. We had good ideas.
No, it's a football game that both teams have to play in. We're not changing history.
No, but it's not. But hold on. You shut up for a second. This isn't, the Bills lost because of that. I'm saying the players, Miami and Bills players should not play in that. They were all looked miserable.
But this is the first game you cared about it.
Well, yeah, because it's the first time I've seen this is the first time I've seen 18 people leave a game with an injury. You got to do something about it, Greg. I'm a change person. I see hearsay. Problems. I want to change things.
That's hearsay. I'm not saying I don't want players to be safe, but I understand what you're saying. There will be a lot of that shit because people they go fucking crazy after these things.
Yeah, it's that I'm not trying to use it as an excuse thing. I'm just saying this was like the tornado game. It was a bad football game because players got hurt on both sides on every snap. And
the choke artist still threw for 400 yards and was friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
That pass he threw, I'll give you a boner.
To Singletary?
He threw to Singletary.
Yeah.
That, like, if the linebacker, or I think it was a cornerback covering Singletary, just turns around, the ball is right on his shoulder. But that pass was just so damn beautiful. He's so good at playing quarterback.
He's also... I don't know how crazy this is anymore. I don't know stats off the top of my head, but he's on pace for like 5,700 passing yards.
Is he really? Wow.
He's already has 1,000 yards and we're in the 3rd game.
That's ridiculous. That's awesome.
That's insane pace.
I really got to get past this game and get to Baltimore and start like they need to beat Baltimore, obviously. And that's going to be tough too. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. There's a lot of positives to pull from this. And the fact that if you watch the center exchange, even before our 3rd string center got in there, it just wasn't good. It really is not.
Yeah.
The center exchange, even on runs, it seemed like Allen was being so careful to get the ball and hand it to the running back that you talk about the running game, that couldn't have helped it.
Right. Well, and we haven't talked about this yet. That probably cost us 3 points at the end of the half, where I think he bobbled the snap. And I think he worried, I don't have enough time to spike it. I better throw it.
No,
he did have enough time to spike
it. That's a rule. You can't spike it after like a football move. So yeah.
So that's what he was.
Yeah, he had to go to the sidelines. That's really good presence of mind for him to have known that. So yeah, I thought when I was watching it live that they were trying to fake spike touchdown pass to Diggs,
but the whole offensive line wasn't even playing. So you knew it was legit. But yeah, that screw up kind of cost 3 points. And then at the end, it's one of those things. It's like, if you had another second, it's not a big deal. So it's tough to know who to blame, but like, it's one of those things where it's like, Mackenzie, you can't run them. Like, you got to go right out of bounds or just get down and do another. You just didn't have the time to do it. You needed another second or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Hook looks really good.
He did drop one. He did on.
Yeah, I don't know. I was saying the same thing of like, I get interchanging everything, but like fucking Reggie Gilliam is like lining up at the X. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Just make it James Cook.
Dorsey
like,
was on DraftKings before the game. He had Gilliam like
yeah, seriously, like
10,000.
I got nothing against Reggie Gilliam here, but what the fuck is going on there? Like, sure, sometimes all right, but like he's legitimately like running routes from like an outside wide receiver. Like, you again, I think Cook is going to start getting the ball more. I think you're going to start seeing it. Maybe they still are doing the whole like bring him along slowly, but at what point are you just like, out of the running back room, he is the most talented, so why not just try it?
Well, that, and to your point, like, they talk so much about how he would be used almost as a receiver, and Diggs is going out every other play. Gabe Davis is hobbled. It's like, use him as a,
Yeah.
Put him out there, throw the ball to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I think something's going to change in the offense philosophically, because, like we've said, they just can't run it, and again, that doesn't bother anybody, any right-minded person, but I think it bothers McDermott that they just straight up can't run it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the same thing. I think at some point Cook will end up with the majority of this, just because at some point you just have to, like, why even pass the ball to the other guys if this guy's better? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't have a beer today, though.
Hey, Singletary's looking good and catching the ball.
I
You
got
didn't have a beer
nothing wrong,
today?
but no, I didn't have one. All water.
Why?
Wow.
You okay?
You
okay, Tiger? You
Hey, is everything okay with you?
Yeah. Did your dog die?
I had a rough Friday night.
Did you see me in some dirty clothes? And you said, I got to get that bod. I'm drinking this water today.
I'm chasing those nasty eggs. Yes. So we didn't talk about something yet, and there's actually kind of breaking news about it. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast on Thursday, get on board sooner, but we're recording it obviously right after the game. But we can still, this is definitely a relevant point to talk about with the game. Tua going down and like looking like he had no idea where the hell he was going, and then coming back in the second half. Obviously, that dude had a concussion. And the way Ian Rappaport reported it with his like mouthpiece NFL tweet was like, oh, he had a back injury. And that's, yeah, like, so that, like, just fuck you, Ian. Like, just stop being such a shitty person. They drive dump trucks of money to Ian Rappaport. It's like, tweet this. It was a back injury. That was,
I tell you what, I believed it when I saw it, because like,
that dude had no idea where the hell he was. He was falling on his feet while he was walking. That was not a back. If that was a back injury, he's got like a separated spine and should never be able to walk again. That was a neck injury. Yeah. Anyways, he did come back. I don't really care. I'm glad he came back for the sake of, well, the Bills beat the Dolphins because they didn't have Tua, that kind of stuff. Right. And Tua still wasn't great in this game. He had some nice passes, but whatever. I guess the NFLPA is initiating an investigation into how he was handled in the concussion check during the game.
Damn,
dude.
But it's the NFLPA. Like, they don't.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. That's like
the most they're going to do is that tweet. They're like, we'll get to it for sure, definitely.
Oh, we had a lot of shit to do this week, and there was a Monday night game, so we couldn't get around to this.
And I will say, whatever you kind of think of Tua or what have you, the Bills' backup defense played pretty good overall. I mean,
210 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
the offense kept the ball the entire game, which helps. But still,
yeah, and they had a touchdown, but it was on a shortened field. They looked for the most part pretty good. I mean, Hill didn't do anything all game.
Two catches, 33 yards. Waddle was 4 catches, 100 yards. Most of it on that one really long one.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was just a lot of things going wrong, and it was the offense really needed to put on a great performance. The offense needed to be at least a B+, and they were a B. And they just needed like one more play to, even that Allen 4th and 1 thing. You had the guy open and just kind of they said his hand's getting an X-ray, so hopefully that's not serious.
Yeah,
but,
that
like,
was one thing I forgot to mention. Allen's hand's probably broken and the season's over. But.
Yeah. Here's some, I'm sure everyone knows these by now because I kept showing them, but some wild stats from the game. The Bills held the ball for 40 minutes and 40 seconds. They had 90 total plays. Miami had 40.
That's like Super Bowl 25 stats.
And first downs, the Bills had 31. Miami had 15.
Wow.
And the Bills were 11 of 18 on third down. That's outrageous. They had more third down attempts than Miami had first downs for the whole game.
Damn. And that's just one of those games. It's like 98% of the time you win that game with those stats. And
they scored 5 fucking points in the second half. Terrible. This team just does not score 19 points. It doesn't happen.
Like we were saying, it was one of those things that was encouraging that even on where they didn't score the ball on every drive, they still were moving the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
It was like,
and
there's a difference between a bad offense and like a good offense that isn't clicking right then. And that's what it was today.
And it's nice to know in a weird way that, like, hey, like, if besides Allen, obviously, if you could have most of your team go down, play a pretty good team and be in it to the end,
I was looking, you're picking up stats, and I looked at this because I hadn't remembered. They scored 19 points, 2 of which came on a safety. They punted once. Mm-hmm. They only punted the ball one fucking time, and they only scored 17 offensive points. That you can't even do that on accidents. Like, you're gonna eventually score points getting that many yards, but
it's also crazy too that just thinking about it, how the first half and the game ended on kind of like clock fuckery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just running out, and you're like, shit. Yeah. Right there. There's 3 points. That's 6 points in each half.
So there's another thing we didn't bring up. Do you just why do you go in the middle of the field to play before? Like, I know you need a really long field goal, but dude's good. Let him try and kick a 65-yard field goal.
You're forgetting there was an offsides call. That would have been like a 70-yard field goal.
So, but let him kick a fucking 70-yard field goal.
No, he ain't getting no 70-yard
field goal. They had 13. I almost said that. No, they had no time whatsoever to get down there, and it was not possible.
70-yard field goal.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's crazy.
I don't know.
That's like record breaking.
but then go to the sidelines. I don't know why they didn't do that. So
now that's an argument, but I don't know, a 70-yarder. That's crazy.
Try a 70-yard field goal, whatever. He gets paid to work.
Should we get right into the question game? Anything else on this? Greg, look,
the Chiefs lost too. The Chiefs lost too.
Greg,
no, don't do this.
The Chiefs
lost. I'm gonna do this.
The Chiefs lost to the Colts at the last minute.
And Chiefs were my survivor pick too, so I had a terrible day of football.
I was out. I had a double survivor pool. My niece plays softball. I paid $50 fucking for this double survivor pool. I don't know the NFL. The first week I took Denver, and the second week was Cincinnati. I couldn't even make it a double survival thing, and I couldn't even make it to week 3. So I'm out. So the Chiefs lost. So everything's fine.
And I will do this, Greg. You're smiling.
No, I am not. I am not. I would be way happier walking my 2 remaining dogs that aren't dead.
You would not, because you'd be thinking about how much little time they have left. And
look at her in the snow. Like, oh, she's just. Look at how cute she is.
Do you think, Kyle? Do you think when Greg's hanging
funny. I'm holding my phone up in front of the camera to show a picture of my dog, and I accidentally slid to another picture, which is with my wife and my dog. But it would have been funnier if it was my cock.
Now, Greg, that picture of the dog in the snow, is that why you were burying her? Or
yes, she was dead with her paws up, and we were just throwing snow over.
Kyle,
the ground is frozen. You're just
damn it. Die in the summer.
Do you think when Greg's hanging out with his dog, with his dogs, he shows them pictures of us recording the podcast? Oh, this is College Show. This is a pretty good episode. We had a lot of fun. I
Sean had a really good trivia question here. Kyle watching is all 22. Look at how cute he is. Yes, I do. I show my dog pictures of you guys. To the questions.
Okay, well, first our Thomas Mulcahy blurb here, number one Patreon. He says he's not worried long term, but this loss was incredibly Buffalo. And
it was a Buffalo loss.
it was a Buffalo loss.
There's only one way to lose if you are a Buffalo team, and that's the Buffalo way.
All right, question number one. 3 questions. Question number one, we'll start with Greg. Greg, which of the following dogs which of the following did the Bills not trade up for? Which one of the following people did the Bills not trade up for in the NFL draft? Is it A, Dawson Knox? Is it B, Cody Ford? Is it C, Tremaine Edmonds? Or is it D, Shaq Lawson? One of those players the Bills did not trade up for.
They definitely traded up for Ford. They definitely traded up for...
Don't give Kyle any...
I'm going to answer the question. I don't care. He doesn't have to believe me.
That's
they definitely
true.
traded up for Lawson and Ford. The other two were Dawson Knox, and I'm not sure about, and then
Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds, which one I'm not sure about. I'm going to say they did not trade up for Tremaine Edmonds.
Okay. Kyle.
I almost definitely think it's Shaq Lawson, because I remember being in a bar in New York and being like, oh my God, I can't believe Shaq Lawson fell to us. And I think that's why.
Kyle, you're correct. It's Shaq Lawson.
Fucking balls. They traded up for Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
What round did we draft him in? Like the 6th?
3rd, I think.
3rd?
6th.
He's Jack Nicholson's cousin. Like Jack Nicholas's nephew, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Nicholson. No, I said it on purpose.
Okay, question 2. We start with Kyle. Kyle, which of the following did the Bills not trade up for? Stop showing pictures of your dog. Which of the following did the Bills not trade up for? Is it A, Khair Elam, B, Zach Moss, C, Khalil Shakir?
Shakir.
Here, or D, Reggie Ragland?
The dog's in whiteface there. Isn't that racist?
She's playing in the snow. Yes.
Yeah, all right. That's what everyone was doing. Who did they not trade up for?
Yeah. Khair, Zach Moss, Khalil, or Reggie Ragland?
I think Khair Elam.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, yeah, the 5th. Sorry. I'm gonna go who's the second one?
Yeah, who's the second one?
Zach Moss.
Okay,
I'm gonna say Zach Moss, I guess.
I'm gonna say Carolyn.
Kyle.
Wow.
Congratulations. They did not trade up for Zach Moss, though apparently they tried to.
They traded up for Khair Elam?
Yeah, I think they traded up like 2 spots.
I gotta start watching the draft.
Hey, I watched the draft, and but that's why I backed out of that answer. I thought so too.
That's like 6 guys they trade up for. Why can't he just be patient?
Well,
no wonder they lost to Miami by 2.
Question number 3. Kyle already has this in the bag. Greg, starts with you. This is an either or here. What number is
2?
What number is larger? The entire top 10 career passing yard leaders combined, or times it's been a while has been played on Spotify?
Just based on our podcast alone, me 10 times played on Spotify. It's been a while has been played at least like 100,000 times that. I'm gonna go been a while.
Kyle.
Yeah, I'm not. It's gotta be it's been a while.
By like a million.
Even if every quarterback in the top 10 threw for 50,000 yards, I think it's been a while is near a million.
Well, I tell you what, you're both right. It's been a while, crushes it. So I'm going to say the top 10 career passing yard leaders is like, 671,000, something like that. And the Stained It's Been a While plays on Spotify alone 228,242,480.
Man, well, it hasn't been a while. Sorry.
No, it hasn't.
Sorry, I did that.
Oh, I forgot to tell you what jersey you're playing for, Kyle. Do you want to know what jersey you just won?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You win, making his debut today, a nice Jamarcus Ingram jersey. Oh,
Go ahead.
we don't know if we have the rights to this.
We don't need them. We're only going to play 8 seconds of it.
Oh, okay.
There. It's been a while since I hung my head up high.
Yeah.
That's the first line in the song. It's been a while.
That song, it really, speaks to us and our fan base.
It's true.
If you had played training camp fantasy football and you won the league, which was free to play, all you had to do was pick 10 stupid offensive and 10 stupid defensive players, and you won the league, you would have gotten a t-shirt with stained on it that said it's been a while since I won in the hunt training camp fantasy football.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
It's a good time. Well, now before we depart and Greg can go be happy, we got to talk about the Ravens game at the Ravens.
Ravon.
This has become almost like not like a must win, but like, you need this game now.
This isn't I'm gonna be gripping a little this week. Yeah, this isn't fun.
And I mean, it's going to be tough because how many of those injured players come back? Are we still playing with a depleted roster? It's tough to know. That's going to be a big thing to monitor. But the good news is, don't you worry.
Keys.
We have a Kyle key to the game.
Kyle has the keys.
So Kyle, how do we go into Baltimore, get a much needed victory, get back on track?
If you're at the bar on Friday night and Kyle has the keys, that's not good. If you're going into a football game and Kyle has the keys, it's a very good
Listen, you got to get home. All right. And speaking of getting home, Lamar Jackson. That's how you got to, obviously, Baltimore is only Lamar Jackson. It's the only guy that Mark Andrews is pretty good, I guess, but who throws him the ball? You know what I mean? Here's how you stop it. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Lamar Jackson put on something like 20, 25 pounds this offseason.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
He said he was trying to get bigger because last season he got hurt. So he's trying to get bigger. What does bigger mean? Fatter. So here's what you do. I know anyone that goes to the gym religiously, hardcore and all that shit, you got a little bit of body dysmorphia. Lamar Jackson's probably ripped, but I say we hire those Russians and their Russian meme bots that stole the election or whichever the narrative was. I don't know what they did. They affected the election. Start making Lamar Jackson fat memes. Just a little subtle changes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't make him like fat bastard to where he's like, oh, that's clearly not me. But maybe a picture where they Photoshop no abs. And he's like, what the fuck? I have abs. Or maybe just some tits. Like he doesn't have pecs. Now he has just some tits. And he's like, what's going on here? I have defined pecs. No, not in this picture, fat boy. And then he gets all demoralized. And he spends the entire week doing cardio and shit, not studying the game plan. And by the time the game comes, ripped, shredded beyond belief. But he's so exhausted from all the cardio that he can't even finish the game.
Boy, the thing about Kyle's picks Kyle's keys to the game is that they're always 100% on. Like that would work. That would work.
I mean, it would work. So, do you think they employ it? Do you think that we're able to overcome these injuries and beat the pesky Ravens?
Well, how many injuries is it? Like, can I even pick the game at this point?
Here's the deal. I don't even think they should be called the Buffalo Bills at this point. You got it. When you get back, we'll say 7 of your 10 starters that are out, you could get called the Buffalo Bills again. But you need to be called like, the Bisons or something. You need or the Bulls, the UB Bulls, or whatever. You got to be called something. You're the AHAFL now? No, wait, that's a thing. Either way, you're the AAA team until you get your starters back, because that's who's playing, AAA players. Oh, the Bills lose 49-10.
Yeah.
Should have done the fat memes.
If they have their third string center, they're not going to beat Baltimore. They can't do that 2 weeks in a row. A team with an entire week to like scheme against the fact that your center is shit, I don't think you're going to beat them.
The guy's name is Van Rotten.
That's the backup.
That's the backup, but I'm saying like,
Yeah,
isn't that
Roten.
crazy?
It's Van Roten. It's not rotten.
Yeah, it's rotten.
It was rotten today.
Yeah, it was Van Rotten the minute he fucked up that first half snap. That's when he became Van Rotten.
If they're both going to pick a loss, I'm going to bring the Heat and say they win 50-2.
2.
Yeah.
I will say I was at
Another
the
butt punt.
Yep, another butt punt.
At the bar I was at, the Ravens game was on the TV next to, at least the Bills game I was watching.
What bar were you at? You want to give them a shout out?
I was at Raintree Bar and Grill in Tonawanda.
That's near me.
You should have came out.
Wow,
I guess I should have invited you.
Who knows?
The Ravens and the Patriots game was closer than it looks on the stat sheet. That game was pretty close all day. And Patriots were not. Mac Jones was bad. At the end of the game, he couldn't even walk on his ankle. He like limped off the field. So that's going to be interesting to see what happened to him. But I don't know. Also, I'm not going to, you can't count out Lamar. The man's
good.
in a contract year and he's playing for it. He's fucking going. He scored 4 touchdowns today. He's going for it. So it'll be fun. I wish it was at home. Next home game, October 9th. Home game after that, October 30th. There's 3 home games in the first 2 months of the season. That's a little fucked, huh?
Yeah.
It's true. Well, there it is.
That's the pod, baby.
It's a tough week. Hopefully we get some players back for that Ravens game. As a reminder, sign up for the Patreon. Listen, we got tons of bonus episodes, fun bonus episodes. $1 a month gives you a Greg Bouk blog, some free tickets to Helium.
I gotta write a fucking blog. That's right. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's gonna suck.
Sorry.
Write your the blog about your dog.
Oh,
Have
okay.
it be all your fond memories.
I'll explain, exactly how I killed my dog. And it cost $600.
Man, that's messed up, man.
Yeah,
And
Can I? Never mind. I'm not going to tell this story.
Yeah, don't tell it. I don't even know what it is, but don't tell it.
It's not a good
Follow
one.
us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, full episodes on YouTube, best of clips, and of course, in the huntcast@gmail.com is our email. If you want us to reply, we'll do it in a couple months, probably. And that's it. Anything you guys got to mention before we're out of here?
No, I gotta pee.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm all right.
Sweeto, thanks for sticking with us. Tell a friend. Greg's happy.
Listen to the fucking Bills podcast. You got a friend, right?
Greg's glad.
You don't have any friends.
Greg's glad he
talk
did
about
this.
a football game. Oh, who's my friend? Your mother.
Hey,
Tell
dude.
Your mom about our podcast.
Yeah.
You don't have any friends.
You're talking about our Patreon people right now.
I love them. I love them to death. I don't have any friends. You won't even fucking invite me to Raintree. So you do a podcast with me every week. You won't invite me to hang out. I don't have any friends.
You would have came.
My best friend just died.
You're gonna walk out, and the other 2 dogs are gonna be like, "What, dude?"
I thought she was on a farm. All right, that's enough.
Okay. Bye.
The bills make me wanna cry. Kick my heels up and cry. Throw my hands up and die. Come on, the bills are giving it their best try. So curl up in a ball and cry. Say hey.